Hey friends, it's Jenny, and I'm getting ready to work on my layout for day 1 of Christy's Beautiful Life 30 Days of Sketches, season 19. If you can even believe that, Christy has organized this 19 times. These sketches are all submitted by other people that like to play along in the group, and really then you just, join in the hop. Today's sketch is by Sarah Christensen, and it is a grid style layout where all of the pieces are made up of like Polaroid frames. I'm going to be using the Summer Snapshots collection from Simple Stories. What I'm trying to do throughout the series is use Scraproom kits. Scraproom kits, older kits, things that I have in my inventory that, not that I need to use them up and get them out, but just, things that remind myself that I have them and I want to use them, and to go ahead and do that. Now, based on the sketch, there are only 4 that have, well, this is the way I'm looking at it. There are 4 spots that have photos in there, and the other ones are just decorated in whatever way that you'd want them to be. I'm going to use these 4 photos of a day that Quinn was at day camp, and they got to play in the little water park. Splash pad, that's what it is, the splash pad. So I've got these 4 photos that I'm going to be using. I do have a Polaroid die here. I don't recall who this one is from, but I have another one that is actually, it's 4 by 4 inches, and so that one's too big. This one we need to have some space between the photo frames, number 1, to decorate and things like that. So like I said, I'm going to use the Summer Snapshot collection. Because it's a Scraproom kit, I have just a smattering of decorative bits here. So we've got this little swing, a tag. We've got today has just perfect. Was just perfect. Okay. And I have glasses on, so there you go. Here's a little journaling card. Here is a tag. Obviously I've cut out some stars here previously. The back of a tag. I've got 2 pieces left of the puffies. We've got this little tab that says Sunshine Kisses, a little pickleball paddle, an ice cream cone. So just, summer icons. So I have used the kit before, which means I do have some scrap pieces of paper. Let me put these in here so that I don't lose them. One of the scraps I have are these actual Polaroids. I'll have to measure them to see if any of them are the same size as my frame. I don't think so. It looks like the body of them is bigger. Yeah, those are definitely not the same size. But if I want to make a frame, maybe out of the water paper, that would be fun. I don't think this piece of paper is going to be big enough to make a frame out of, or is it just big enough? It may be just big enough to get a frame out of that. But some of the frames do have things behind them, so I could always use it for that too. I've got this fun piece of paper. I thought I'd make a frame out of this one. And basically, if I wanted to do 2 frames out of this one, I can. I've got this scrap that I can make a frame out of with the ice creams on the other side. I've got this scrap of the stripes. I love me some stripes. The back side is lemons. I would definitely use this side. This has been cut into. This is the pretty flowers. So even if I wanted to maybe cut some flowers, because I don't have many embellishments, this would be a great paper to do that with. The back is this kind of like red ledger paper. So even if I wanted to do a frame out of each side of this and then still cut up flowers, I've got more than enough to do that. I've got this piece of paper. So this one has the branding strip still, and it's called easy breezy. I love this piece of paper. I had considered using it for my background, as this would be a great background, but I like this so much I don't want to use it as a background, so we'll see what we're going to do here. I have this one that's called Summer Stories, and it's this green on the back, and the other side are these orange flowers. This piece of paper from the collection is not my favorite. I mean, it's one I can use without a doubt, but it's just really not my favorite. I have a white piece of cardstock, so in case I decide to go with just a white piece of cardstock and then mix it up with all the different patterns, I gave myself that opportunity, that choice. And then I have these leftover stickers to use, so that'll be great. I'll be able to get, doesn't look like a title, but there's lots of little good icons and our tiny words here and stuff like that. So my plan is to use these supplies. I will probably get my frames cut and decide how I want to go from there. I'm trying to see if this is going to be, this might not even be tall enough to be that, and the waves going that way would not look good, so we'll have to see if this one I can even use. But like I said, here's my photos. I've got a Scraproom kit I had put in here. When is this from? This is from June of 2024. So this is from last year. Pieces that I have left. It's a great collection. I really do like it very much. Let me go ahead, get my platinum out, get some things cut, and I'll come back. Hey friends, and welcome to day one of Christy's Beautiful Life 30 Days of Sketches. I had gone over a little bit at the beginning of this video about my plans, what I plan to use. I'm primarily, or going to try to use Scraproom kits. I do have actually all my photos picked, all my supplies picked, so that I can, work on these as I'm able. This just so happened to be the Summer Snapshots kit from Simple Story. I got this in the Flavors of the Month kit in June 2024. Now, as I use my kits, I am going to go ahead and take my leftovers and roll them forward, so that if I need them for another layout as they come up, I can continue to use what is there. Now, this sketch was provided by Sarah Christensen, and it's a grid type of sketch where it had these nine places, and they all look like they were kind of like Polaroid frames. So I did use a die that I have, and I was able to just use scrap pieces of paper for all of the frames that I cut out. Now, the way she had these laid out here was that, like one will be upside down, one sideways, one the right way, sideways, so that type of thing. So I tried to follow that as much as I could when laying out my grid. I took it that these four that showed like a cloud in the sky and that like that were where the photos should go, and that the other spots were where you would embellish. So as I had shown, I was going to use these 4 photos from a splash pad. So these were a day after camp, and it was hot outside, and there's a splash pad right there, so Mom let her go play, and she had a blast. So I had those 4 photos, but as it turns out, when you're cutting out the Polaroid frame, I had to make these smaller than the opening, and they're not quite wide enough. I think that's what it would be. Yeah, I think they're one or the other. Now, they're either not wide enough or not tall enough. So I tried to strategically place the photos in a way that there is an embellishment next to it. So it's not so prominent that, the whole spot opening for the photo is taken up. So I like how I came up with that. As far as the embellishments go, pretty much it's all from the sticker sheet. That's because I don't have much in the realm of paper ephemera of what was in there. Let me see if anything. This Today Has Been Just Perfect was a piece of paper ephemera. The Sunshine Kisses was a piece of paper ephemera. And I think that's it. The rest is from the sticker sheet. And I did take, I don't know if you can tell when I hold it like this a little bit, or maybe like this. A lot of it is on some type of foam tape, as I like the way that it was going to go ahead and just bring more dimension. So all of my photos are on foam tape, and several of the embellishments are as well, but some of them are flat. So I wanted some of them to be flat to the layout, and then some do have some foam tape on them. So I'm happy with how this came out. It was, at first, you know, when you're looking at it, I do like to use pattern paper, and you'll see for day 2. I'm a background pattern paper girl. And I'm doing these out of order, so that's why I'm saying when you see day 2. Because when I was finding photos and collections, blah, blah, blah. Anyway, I just didn't like the way the frames looked against any of the 12 by 12 pieces of paper that I had left. And then when I put it on the white and started laying those frames out, I really loved how those pops of color just came out. So I really am happy with how this one came out. A memory recorded. Day 1 of 30 Days of Sketches complete. Sketched by Sarah Christensen. Sarah, thank you. This was a great sketch to work on. I do appreciate it. I hope I did it justice for you. Now, please don't forget, 30 Days of Sketches is a hop, and it lasts for 30 days. There are 30 sketches that everybody's playing with, and you to be inspired by them. So you just go ahead and watch. You're going to see that everybody, you know, you might have some people who are using the same collections, but everybody's using different collections, different photos, you know, different place of how they interpret it. It's a sketch. It's a jumping off point for you to take a look at to see what you like. And then you kind of go from there. So this is my interpretation of day 1. Please make sure to hop along. Christy, as always, thank you for putting this together, for organizing everybody in their fantastic sketches. It's very appreciated. Thank you for stopping here and taking a look. I do appreciate your time. I ask that you like, comment, subscribe, come back. I have got more stuff coming, and I'd just like to have you here. Comment, let me know what you think. God bless, and I'll see you in the next one. Take care.